Hello and welcome to our presentation on the barn conversion at the dairy farm. Our aim is to explain to you about the conversion of Southfield barns. Our aim is to make an empty barn and turn it into a 5-star venue. This would mean it would accommodate weddings, parties, corporate conferences, as well as other events. Our barn is situated in the heart of Midhurst with the Cowdray Polo Club and ruins just situated behind. To do the work on the barn, we'll be using local builders and construction workers, local companies for the windows, as well as the interior design, who we'll come to mention later on in this presentation. By doing this, we'll have the support behind us, backing the renovation of this barn by local people. When the venue is finished, we'll have different packages priced to suit all customers' requirements. These packages have links with local caterers, decorators, musicians and entertainers to supply the events.
The dairy farm is situated in the heart of Midhurst, which is surrounded by the South Downs. The barn and the surrounding area will be spacious due to having all the empty farm fields around. This will then tie in with the farm business itself by using the spare fields. This would be an added bonus to the customers having more space and freedom to do as they wish. One idea is to have marquees at the events, which will be provided by a local marquee company. The venue itself will be very simplistic, meaning that we will be able to add in the details as the client requires. Our main focus is on the quality of the venue, as well as the local companies we intend to make partnerships with, making sure everything is kept to a 5-star standard. Mr. Collier states that Midhurst is a community-focused town. The unique selling point to our venue would be the community. The Midhurst area is very peaceful and will be a getaway to many customers. Even in the winter, when it rains, we can play on the fact of an English raining winter's day. Why not bring your wellies and still enjoy the fresh outdoors? Being situated in the heart of Midhurst means that it's close to surrounding areas such as Chichester and Petworth, with a variety of travel options between these destinations. Alongside this, we've also connected with a local taxi company called Midhurst Taxis, who will also be doing discounted transport for customers of Southfield barns.
Midhurst is 12 miles away from Chichester town centre, only taking 25 minutes to drive there. As you can see by the map on the screen, your drive past the South Downs National Park, Chichester, is also recognised as an affluent area in total. Chichester catchment contains 1.1 million residents with an annual comparison good expenditure of 3 billion in additional to 85.2 million is spent on catering in Chichester per year.
When planning to convert a barn into a venue, we need to think about the following: the layout of the barn, a kitchen in the back for caterers to be able to prepare food and cook. This also needs to include separate entrances for both deliveries and waiting staff. Toilets need to be situated in each of our outrooms as well as in the main barn. This would mean there are no crossovers between the events, meaning that we could have multiple events running simultaneously. We would also need to supply staff changing rooms, a staff relaxed area, as well as toilets. We would need to provide a stage area for either the DJ or performers to have their equipment, and a dance floor for an added touch. For the customers, we need to consider having a cloakroom for all their coats. It has become apparent that in the industry, there has to be means of Wi-Fi at all venues. Being situated in a rural area could lead to having slow Wi-Fi, so prior to the instalment, we would have to find out what the minimum required bandwidth would be to carry out all tasks that require internet access. We would also supply projectors, which would be projected onto the vintage plain walls to give it an antique look. We would also be supplying a DVD player with simplistic speakers. In addition to this, we'll have a basic music player suggesting to customers that they hire our recommended entertainers, which we have existing connections with. The barn will have a very antique and vintage look. We'll be keeping the old oak beams contrasted with white walls. We'll also have a modern aspect to it. The story of our venue will be, you're not only hiring the venue, but you'll be hiring a community to ensure that your event is run smoothly and to a high standard. The main events we'll be holding in the Southfield barns will be weddings, due to Hitchwife stating that the weddings industry in the UK generated a whopping £10 billion in 2011. The number of weddings in England and Wales jumped up by 5.3% in 2012 to more than 262,000 weddings. The new up-and-coming aspect of weddings is to make the day into a weekend. Close family are now staying in close proximity to the venue and to have breakfast together before the couple fly off on a honeymoon. We will be taking this aspect and creating packages for all events. Why not make a corporate day into a corporate weekend by including team building and sightseeing? The capacity of a venue depends on the available space for people. Limiting factors are usually emergency exits and the audience circulation capacity of the venue. The capacity of the main barn is set at 300 people standing. This number reduces with the setup of tables for a sit-down meal.
Fitzroy Functional Wedding Barn is situated in the beautiful West Sussex farm in the stunning West Sussex countryside. The function barn benefits from a private courtyard, which guests have full and exclusive use of. The function barn is a very relaxed atmosphere. Their goal is to let the hirers feel that the barn is an extension of their home for their special day. They believe organising your wedding should be a relaxed and enjoyable experience. Therefore, the wedding couple have full access to the beautiful duck barn from the day before their reception. Due to the versatility of the setting, the barn can comfortably cater from 60 to 180 guests. They provide guests with a beautiful setting. They are free to organise all their catering with one of their various and carefully selected recommended caterers, using their tables, chairs and furnishings. Looking back to Southfield Barns, we shall be using the idea of a relaxed atmosphere to be part of our unique selling point. From this, we have decided to make our goal to ensure that customers not only feel welcome at our venue, but feel fully catered for, being waited on hand and foot. We want to give them a customer a 5-star experience by taking all the hard work from them, therefore removing any stress of planning a wedding has.
Gritton Barn's unique selling point is the fact that it's a graded second listed property. It is set in a stunning grand garden with views of the South Downs. It has been immaculately restored and furnished as a stunning central fireplace set in the heart of the West Sussex countryside between Petworth and Midhurst. The site predates the 17th century and is mentioned in the Domesday Book. The property is set in a stunning garden with a lake, orchard and woodland. It is a perfect location for a wedding, workshop, conference, exhibitions and private parties. What we will be taking from the venue is its centrepiece being a fireplace to add to the vintage look and give a warm feeling in the winter. We will also be having a farmhouse, an outbuilding for all the different types of events we like. That is the Gritton Barn. Barn is a versatile venue with a stunning outlook as well as inside for both summer and winter.
Bartholomew Barns is a romantic rustic setting for your wedding reception. You can have an intimate and cosy reception or a larger traditional wedding breakfast using the additional space provided by an adjoining marquee. The potting shed is available to the couple on the day of the wedding for changing in and freshening up. We believe this is the prettiest potting shed in West Sussex. The courtyard provides a perfect setting for your drinks reception and for your guests to mingle while the newlyweds pose in the gardens and gazebo beyond the courtyard for romantic wedding photographs. The idea we like from the research into Bartholomew Barns is the fact that they have a potting shed open for the couple all day. We will be opening up the downstairs bedrooms to the farmhouse for the bride and bridesmaids to get ready on the day. So looking into these 3 different barns, what is our unique selling point? To describe our venue in a few simple sentences, this barn is situated in a rustic setting, so peaceful and tranquil, all your stress will vanish. Here at Southfield Barns, we'll be taking the stress of planning a 5-star event away from you, whether it be a wedding, a birthday party, a conference, or a conference for your own business. Situated in the heart of Midhurst, we are surrounded by the South Downs Way. In the venue, by replacing one wall of the barn with floor-to-ceiling windows, this will create an astonishing view for your guests. Even in the wet English weather, this venue has its quirky moments. Just don't forget your weathers. This venue offers a big vintage open space to do as you require. It can hold up to 300 people, so invite the whole family and friends.
To create a market and to get people to know about our venue, we would hold an open day for customers to come and visit the venue at least once a month for the first 4 months. This will happen on a Saturday unless the venue is already previously booked. This is where we would kit out the venue for different types of events and showcase to local companies and potential customers. We would also advertise and visit Chichester to attract people from the surrounding areas and visit Midhurst. We would also be going to wedding fairs all around the UK, mainly in London and bigger cities, as the tranquility of Midhurst will be a major selling point. We intend to target couples for weddings or silver services. According to the Bridal Guide, barn weddings are on the top 5 hottest wedding trends. We could also be holding the service in one of the outer barns, which is smaller and more personalised, and then the after party in the main barn, which would cater to higher capacity. We also plan on holding conferences and retreats. The idea of a retreat creates an atmosphere that is more conducive to teamwork. Businesses are looking for an atmosphere different to the everyday business environment. In addition to this, we plan on doing both adult and children's parties.
Some types of the wedding packages, including pricing and companies, are shown on screen. Our most basic package would only include the wedding venue and food, which would range between £65 and £70 per guest. And in terms of outside companies, we would be calling in an official registrar and a catering company. Then at very to our largest package, which is a full wedding package, including accommodation and a day out for the guests and an evening meal. The price of this would be dependent on what the day out or attraction that the wedding couple would be most interested in doing. This would call in entertainment, caterers, decorations, the hotel, the registrar, and of course the desired day out.
Looking at the floor plan on the screen, so you can see that we have put the kitchen area towards the back of the barn for the catering staff behind. This is also the staff's facilities, like changing rooms. There is a large courtyard in front and of the field behind us, behind for the summer period. The field is also suited for, it's got its marquee, to suit both wet and dry weather. We have included a reception area which will have sofas there for people to come into to relax. This is so that they have a nice warm welcome and feel like they can mix as well. The venue itself will be designed with an old oak beams to give it a vintage feel, as well as walled floor, ceiling, windows looking out at the South Downs to create a scene of tranquility. As you can see on the site plan, we have created two separate buildings located next to the main barn. Being slightly smaller than the main barn, they will be used for smaller conferences and meetings. The map on the screen is outlining our 10-mile radius from the farm in the centre of Midhurst. The company we will be connecting with for the renovations are as follows. They are all located within a 10-mile radius of the farm, which means it will be beneficial to the local economy. We have also included the contact details of these companies.
So, any construction work that will be completed by South Downs Constructions. We feel these are good because they are based in Midhurst and their slogan is your local building service for your local community. Any electrical work will be carried out by Chai Electrics. The interior decorating will be done by Kate Bigham, and the plumbing for the toilets and kitchen will be carried out by Sussex and Surrey plumbers. When selling our event packages to the client, we have to ensure that we have hand-picked companies which we have chosen to work with. This is to ensure the quality for all events. These are local companies as well. For the catering and waiting staff, we will be working with Jacaranda Catering. These are located in Midhurst and known for their qualities. The marquees will be supplied by A&B Marquees. They have a range of marquees to choose from for any occasion, which fits in with the events we'll be holding in our venue. One of our entertainers is Greg Williamson, which is a magician. We will also be supplying brands, DJs and dancers. The decorations will be done by Inflate to Create. Alan Massey is a photographer who has specialised in different types of events, so will cater for all the events happening at Southfield Barns. Wedding Cake supplies the cakes to any specific. She has amazing designs and can cater for the client's needs. We will also be connecting with local wedding planners to take some of the stress off of the farm's company. However, there will be a rigorous progress to prove they are worthy of our 5-star venue.
For the wedding packages, we need to link with hotels for the accommodation. The top 5 accommodations in a 10-mile radius are the Park House Hotel and Spa in Midhurst, Shambles Forest Mere in Liphook, Life Hill Hotel and Spa in Haslemere, the Old Thorns Manor Hotel and Golf Course in Liphook, and the Goodwood Hotel in Chichester. The reason why we've chosen these specific hotels are because they are close to the venue and linked with our 5-star rating. However, we will also be in connection with a taxi company to deliver great rates so that driving will not be necessary. Linking in with the accommodation, if the client did not want to eat in the hotel, wanted a night out or just fancied a quick snack on the next day, we have handpicked some local restaurants within a 10-mile radius which have been recommended as they are all 5-star rated. The Elstead Inn in Elstead, the exclusive cake shop and vintage tea room in Midhurst, the Olive and Vine in Midhurst, Cockburn's Tea Room in Midhurst, and the Duke of Cumberland in Henley.
If our clients are wanting to make their special day, a weekend, a special few days longer, we have found a top 5 attractions to do in a 10-mile radius of Midhurst. These are the following. Goodwood Events in Chichester. Goodwood is a seasonal event. This would depend on the time of year. They do horse racing, car racing and car shows. Wool Bedding Gardens in Midhurst, Southdown National Park, the Cowdry Park and Castle in Midhurst. This and the South Downs are part of our unique selling point as they are so close to the farm. You can see them from the venue. The Cowdry ruins as well are stunningly lit at night with lights. And also we have the Midhurst Museum in Midhurst.
On the screen shows a week timeline for the events we would aim to hold at the venue. We would hire it out on a Monday and a Wednesday morning for a kids' playgroup, as it means we would be always guaranteed income for the venue, as well as involving the community. This is the same for the yoga on a Monday evening. Tuesday and Thursday, we would be doing a cheaper deal on weddings, as these are a high source of income and also bring more people to see the venue who could be potential clients in the future. We want to have on average 3 weddings a week, meaning a minimum of 12 weddings a month, leading to a minimum of 144 weddings a year. We will be doing different offers throughout the year, seasonally as well as monthly. August weddings are prime time. By holding weddings throughout the year, we'll be helping local businesses to create an additional income throughout the year. If we see the numbers of weddings being held declining, we'll be putting on a special offer online on websites such as Voucher for only a week to see how many we can sell quickly, and to see if it's the time of year or the venue's reputation, meaning that we're not getting sales.
How we are going to be benefiting the local economy is by using the local businesses and bringing everyone together to create connections. We'll be giving the younger generation of Midhurst and the surrounding areas work experience with us to involve them and the schools in what we are doing. We will also be connecting with West Dean College students, giving them the opportunity to work at some of our in-house events. We will also be benefiting the Chichester district as some of our companies are situated there. As well, we'll be telling people about their attractions and events happening, sending people to Chichester town as part of a day out. This could be for shopping, especially at the Christmas time, to see their famous Christmas markets and lights. This is the same for the surrounding areas of Midhurst that border the South Downs. As this is one of our key unique selling points, we will be sending people to walk through them.
Event organisers are actively seeking out venues which are built and operated sustainably and whose sustainability credentials will add to the performance and outcomes of the event. We will make sure that the venue uses solar panels to keep the bills down, but also to make sure the venue is sustainable. John Frill explains that using reputable local companies helps the local economy, support local employment and creates strong internal business relationships, which often results in reputable business coming through the door. This supports our decision to use food sourced from within Midhurst itself and the surrounding area.
The first risk factor which we could cover for the barn is through the renovation stage. This being it taking longer than planned, meaning we not only miss out on business and potential bookings, we also have to spend out more in expenditure to pay for the companies to continue. Another risk with the renovation is that quality is not up to standards as we were expecting, meaning we either have to spend out for a higher standard or decrease our rates for the first 6 months to make a profit in order to increase the standard of the venue. A risk for when the venue opens is that the customers do not see the wow factor in it and do not see the difference between Southfield Barns and other barns which are situated around. This would lead to the venue not making enough income. How we will stop these risks are through advertising in the correct places and attracting the customers we are looking for. We will not only use magazines to advertise, but also face-to-face advertising which carries a personal touch. We will stress that the fact that we have all the connections already made and we will take away the stress of planning your event. What will happen if we get no grants is that we would find other ways of getting money, such as looking into bike lanes, getting sponsorship from local companies that are already backing us, as well as the support from the local community. We will also be doing a PR stunt that would hopefully go global, so that people would know about the work that is being done in the barn and want to donate. We would also look into other projects such as farm shops and follow through with the bigger projects afterwards. This is also what we would do if the venue does not bring in enough income in the first 2 years. We would look into ventures such as educational days, family days and events, accommodation, as well as food and farm shops.
Our plan for the renovation of the barn will be as follows. During the first week, we intend to strip out all interior which we don't want. The second week, we'll do all the electrical work for the barn. The third week, we'll do all the plumbing for the barn and the kitchen. The fourth week, we'll plaster all the walls and decorate. And within 2 months, we intend to have all flooring complete. And in the total of 6 months, we intend to finish the total barn conversion. Our plan for after this work, during the first month, would be to get advertising. During the second month, we would intend to get the venue out in wedding fairs. During the third month, we intend to attract kids clubs and other activities. By the fourth month, we intend to have be running at least 4 weddings a month. And by the fifth month, we would like to be fully booked. And for the sixth month, we'd like to have a waiting list for the summer, following from August the next year. After the venue has been built, After the venue has built a reputation for itself and is making profit, we want it to become self-dependent. We will build the accommodation as well as looking into farm shops and having our own catering staff on site.
So why should you fund us? As stated in the story of our venue, you're not only hiring a venue, but you will be hiring a community to ensure that your event is run smoothly and to high standard. This can be and in
Investments.
investment in this sense that the funding would not only be creating the venue but generating opportunities within the community. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. George, you've got to practice. Okay, you are relying, I know you find this really difficult, okay, but you have to practice. You cannot rely on these two to get you out, okay? Levelness, my friend, you've got to work and you've got to get it coming out. Have you practiced that? Yeah, I know it's difficult, but you've got to keep going with it, alright? Guys, I'm taking that element out of the equation when we mark it, alright? That's the only thing I can do so it's fair. Okay, overall, cool. You've got a lot in there, alright? Lots of detail. It's a little bit, I think the technical term I would go for is a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Alright? You know what I mean by that? It's all a little bit, it's like you just want and give us lots of information, and I'm struggling, my brain is now going, what have I just experienced? And what am I taking in? Will I give you them any yes or no? Based on the confidence of what, because you are pitching so many ideas in. Alright, and at the end you say, well, if that doesn't work, we're going to go and do something else, and we're going to diversify into food and accommodation. You would be shown the door at that point because you're not sticking to your guns. You have no appreciation in that, the danger there. And I've sat for a lot of business bids, and remember I sit on the group that judges these bids when they come in for leader. At that point I would go, well, you haven't got confidence in your business plan. You cannot then say, well, if that fails, but you'd be bust. If you're going to put this money, you then can't go, oh, we're going to do food, because actually then you then start competing against Cadbury Farm Shop. So you've got to stay definitive. It's the basic concept is in there. You're doing a venue, all right. But the problem is, I then have to go through a half an hour to pull out what the concept is at different points. At no point have you stood there and said, "This is what we want to do," in a definitive way. It's all a little bit. There's a bit here and a bit there and a bit there. All right. You're doing a barn, all right. So why a barn conversion for venues? You haven't specified why you do venue hire. Why venue hire over self-catering or food shops? Answer the question. Why venue hire?
We looked at what we kind of looked at barn weddings and barn.
Right, and you did do that, and you pulled out 3. You went in and you went in and looked. Well, this is what they've got. But the point is, at that point, it becomes very narrative. Okay, and this is where you've kind of like got to go up a level. Because when you start to talk about those 3, so let me tell you the story. All right. Now, if I had a little card, my little card would say "So what." Each one of those. What did you? And you got there where you brought it to life a little bit. Yeah. You then said, right. Having looked at those 3, what's our USP going to be?
Yeah.
But all the USPs you mentioned on that screen, you'd actually mentioned already. That it would be a barn, that it would host 300 people, it would be in this location. So there wasn't a single point where you went, wow, this is it. And you talked about the importance of the wow factor at the end. That should have been at the beginning. You said, this is our concept. But we're going to do venues. Right, the context of venues is look at what our competitors are doing in the local area. This is what we're up against. Alright? To get the entry point, this is what we need to do. Alright? Now you did it, but it was all a little bit scrappy, and there was a bit here and a bit there, and it just needed almost half an hour. Let's just reorder it slightly to put it in. Alright? Because there is, I think in instances, it comes across more of an event pitch than a business pitch. Because it's your timeline is so out, it's unbelievable, to be fair, that you do your electrics in a week for a barn conversion. Good luck with that, because if you can find a building that do that, I'd hire them tomorrow. You're just not realistic in terms of, that would take you a year, 6 months to really get that barn sorted out. Because you've got to get planning permission, you're in the South Downs National Park, you've got to get planning permission from the National Park. That's a risk that you did mention. Would you get the go-ahead from the South Downs, given where it is? I think there's some aspiration. You talk about, you're not just buying business, you're buying the community. That's a very grandiose statement to make. My view would be, I'm buying a wedding to stuff the community because I just want a wedding because it's my wedding and I'm spending £5 or £6 with you. And how do you make those connections? How you establish those links back? The aspiration is great. It's just the type of thing that leader would want you to talk about. But it's not clear how you're doing it. Because, for example, you talked about, when you went through this is our accommodation in 10 miles, on what basis did you pick this? Because you didn't do the Spread Eagle in Midhurst. You've got the Spread Eagle Hotel, slap bang in the middle of Midhurst that you've not mentioned. Right? Food and drink, we did mention the Cowdrey Farm shop, yet at the beginning you talked about the role of Cowdrey and the impact that's going to have on your visitors in terms of profile. So you've overlooked businesses that are slap bang in that I would say, well, why have we ignored the Spread Eagle? Is it because they do weddings themselves and they wouldn't want to know? Okay, and you also talked about 4 weddings a week. Where do you get 4 weddings a week from?
When we looked at the other wedding venues, the way that their schedule was set up.
Yeah, but is that what other people are doing? 4 weddings a week?
Yeah. They are fully booked for 4 weddings a week.
So you could see it on their calendar that they had dates in there. Okay, that's fine. But, because I wasn't certain about that, so what you then had to turn around and say, this is the industry standard locally. Okay. If this is what everybody else is doing, this is what we can, this is the level that we're coming in at. This seems to be the pattern of bookings, we can replicate this to be the same as everywhere else. But you might turn around and say, actually, I'm not going to do that. Because 4 weddings a week is a lot. But it's just finding that levelness. George, you need to practice it. Annabelle, one thing I would say, you've got a very, I'm going to say this politely, okay, but if you watched yourself back,
I know.
You've got a very start and stop kind of voice, and it's almost like you're emphasising the sentence and the full stops when you talk, and you need to get, because it is very, it's not disconcerting, but it doesn't engage me because it comes across as quite harsh. You understand it without any shadow of a doubt, but the way you present it is quite offish, if that makes sense, because it's quite blunt. And for something like this, when it's a really nice topic, and if you're doing it to a client would sit there and go, oh, she's very offish. Just by the very nature of paper, you need to flow. And you're going to take the full stop out and work on a vocal connective that takes you from one point to the other using the article, and you'll flow. And another point we look at is breathe, and then you don't breathe. You do a full stop. Blah, 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 blah. And if you're going out into industry, you've just got to refine that because it will transform how you come across. Because you know it, but you come across as Mr. Scotch, your shields are up. And it's a very small thing, but you need to get your professional balance right in that area. Okay, George.
I would become repetitive, so I'm not going to add anything.
But you know it. That's the good thing. You understand the area that you're going into. It just needed a bit of polish and slightly time to organisation too. It could have been at least 5 minutes shorter, quite easily, because you were repetitive. Okay. And some of the same point. And at that point, you go, oh, I've mentioned that. And if I hear the same point coming through, I go, oh, God, I've heard that. Did you practice it? How many times did you rehearse it?
5.
So you have rehearsed it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But it comes to a point, you need to look, one of the criteria is succinctness of your presentation. And if you're mentioning the same points, it's not succinct. And that's to do with the order and where things are positioned. Say it once, say it well, job done, move on to the next bit. Okay. And then bring it all together with a summary at the end. But you understand what we're trying to do, you understand the market, it's just tightening up and polishing it a little bit. Alright? But you've never done a presentation for me before, or George, because you came in directly from the college.
Yeah.
Alright? And that said, on that alone, you are presenting as good as Arnold, which is good. Alright? It's just polishing and polishing. But remember, on this one, it did feel like you picked up a lot of your event stuff was dictating it. This was a business pitch, not a transitory short-term. Because your event, that last phrase in particular, when you went, if we do this, that's what you would say if your event didn't work. We'll do a different event next year. Because the investment level will tolerate it. Yeah. If you're building a venue, you will not have money left to then turn it into food or anything else. You will roll the dice and that'll be it. And then you started at the end saying we're going to do playgroups and we're going to do yoga. you're diluting core business. Your business is, if I'm sitting in a room and you're doing playgroups and stuff like that, playgroups got to have storage for toys, and you're going to have writings on the wall, and you've got to have kiddie loos. If I'm hiring your venue and it's exclusive, I don't want to go into a toilet and have a kiddie loo.
Do you not? Not even if there's children in the
Well,
venue?
maybe, but you're diluting core business. And that's when we've done a lot of these leader bids. They have this kind of like get out of jail, we do something else. And the leader people will turn around and say, you've got to focus on core business, you're diluting it. That's what you're applying for the money for, that's what we want. But you did demonstrate the connection with how you bring other businesses in. But you then had 10-man Hampshire. Actually, that's Ashley Kent, that's Tents and Events in Arundel. Keep it local.
You also remind me, talking about the exclusivity of the focus as well, you're aiming to do a 5-star sort of setting and venue. And if I'm planning a wedding and you tell me, well, and remember to bring your wellies, as I think you Blair mentioned, that put me off immediately.
Well, I mean, that was because when we started doing the initial research on weddings and things like that, we found that with like a lot of barn venue, like barn wedding venues, they kind of play on the fact of where they're set. And like there was like a lot of pictures about the whole like wet wedding, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Where
You can
So
play
I
on the
don't
setting,
know.
but you must play on the setting, definitely.
yeah. So
But
it
if
wasn't-
you are aiming for a 5-star delivery, then you have to work out throughout. I could see them all, but I'm not going to touch
But
it.
you don't, what you don't do is they don't bring them. You have them, hunters. You have the wellies just in case, and you have you bring that in. They're 5-star. You supply it.
Okay.
And then that becomes a photo op because it's a nice fire and you play on the joke, the narrative with that.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Cool, thank you, because I appreciate the amount of effort you put into that. I mean, the core element is there, just polish. That's what you need. I'm going to give you this one. Peer assessment
Okay.
forms for the presentation and the podcast. There are the relevant forms in there. I need you to do it for each one twice for contribution to this and the podcast. And if on the top you could just put whether you're doing it for the podcast so I can differentiate. So I need one from each. Podcast presentation. There are 3 envelopes in there. Do it anonymously, put them in, and then I will calculate the marks based on that. Okay?
Alright.
Good. Thank you
Cheers.
very much.
Well done, guys.
Oh, really? So do you want to put it out?
Oh, yeah.
Well,